So some very interesting things happened this week, and it relates to an FCC filing from Tesla, and it turns out it's regarding a new generation of radar. So what could this all mean? We're in the era of vision only, right? Well, let's talk about that. I do want to take a moment though and thank the sponsor of this video, Drive Protected Shop. Drive Protected Shop offers PPF pre-cut kits to allow you to do PPF yourself. So if you have gotten quotes to get PPF on your car, you know how much some of these shops are charging, and it is very expensive. So as you may know, I have completely wrapped this Model Y all by myself, and I've saved thousands of dollars by doing it myself. Is it a perfect installation? No. But did it save me literally thousands of dollars? You bet it did. So if you're interested in saving thousands and giving it a shot by doing it yourself, be sure to visit driveprotected.shop and use code BTG to save 20% on your order. So I'm sitting here in my vision only Tesla Model Y, and when we started our Tesla journey, we actually had a 2020 Model Y, one of the first that were produced, and it was not a vision-only system. Now, Tesla has been talking about a vision-only full self-driving system for quite some time, and there's been a lot of talk about if that's even possible. Now, Tesla has been using vision to help assist autopilot for quite some time, and that radar has been a crucial point of the overall system when bringing everything together. Elon Musk has talked about in the past how radar does at times interfere and conflict with what the vision system is telling the car needs to happen. And this is what we come to know as phantom braking. So if you remember, there had been talks about phantom braking and how jarring it was and how bad it was. And here's the thing, when we had our 2020 Model Y, yes, we did have phantom braking. It was very rare, but when it did happen, there were specific spots that I knew it was going to happen every single time. So there was something about that exact situation that caused the car to want to brake hard. Now, if you recall, back in 2021, there was a period of time when Model Ys were stacking up at Fremont. They weren't shipping for some reason. And these cars being stacked up in the parking lot at the factory were quite a concern because we had not seen that before. And very shortly after that, Tesla announced that they would be implementing vision only moving forward. Shortly after that, the lot was emptied and the cars were shipped out. Now, in 2021, there were supply chain issues across the board, which we are still facing today. And a lot of people, myself included, are of the opinion that Tesla rushed out a vision-only system to help accommodate for a shortage of chips that were needed to bring those radars in. So by removing that radar and eliminating that particular bottleneck, Tesla was able to continue delivering cars to customers and continue to meet on their goals of growing this transition to a sustainable future. Since then, we've seen significant price increases. We've seen a number of features removed from the car, and a lot of the times the problem with that is Tesla's being disingenuous with how they're communicating that, or lack thereof communication. And eventually we usually get a communication that says something to the effects of, we use the data to determine that consumers aren't using this particular feature, so we removed it. When in reality, there's probably a supply chain constraint that is preventing them from being able to ship cars. Now, Tesla's not the only one impacted by supply chain, and that's why it's so frustrating to listen to, because all these other manufacturers are removing features as well to get cars to customers' hands to continue to deliver. But they're removing them and they're communicating that removal and why they're doing it, and they're changing the price based on removing those features. Tesla, on the other hand, is doing no such thing. And that does become frustrating, and it does turn into a swath of speculation on what exactly is happening. Now, I want to go back to our 2020 Model Y. We had that car for 40,000 miles, and I did a ton of road trips. And yes, there was phantom braking. And yes, at that time, all of us thought phantom braking was quote unquote bad because of the handful of situations that it would have phantom braking. Since vision only was rolled out, phantom braking is a multitude worse with vision only than it was before, when there was a conflicting signal from the radar and the vision system. I'm telling you, vision only was really bad, especially at the beginning. And I gotta be quite honest, in my experience after having this car with vision only, very shortly after it was rolled out, vision only has been full of phantom braking for most of this time. I will say this, in the last month, I saw the very first indication that phantom braking is getting better. And we've been starting to see news articles come out about phantom braking being reported, and now the FTC is getting involved and the NHTSA is getting involved, and they're investigating this issue because phantom braking, when you're on the highway doing 75, 80 miles an hour and it brakes all the way down to 50 before you get a chance to change that, that's very dangerous and it is scary. But once it happens a few times, you get used to it and you know what to do. So in certain situations, I would keep my foot by the accelerator. Example, in the early days when I was passing a semi, I would keep my foot by the accelerator because 9 times out of 10, the car would start to brake hard for no apparent reason. So with that, it was very clear to me that this vision-only system was definitely not ready to be rolled out. And if it was going to be rolled out, there was a ton of development that needed to happen. The problem is nothing seemed like it was getting any better with these software updates when it came to phantom braking. But now over this last month, so basically a year later, it seems like things are starting to get a little bit better. So that focus has finally started to shift. Now, something new just happened this week, and it turns out Tesla has filed for the use of a brand new radar system to be used in the car. Now, Elon Musk has said in the past that vision only is better than radar. Now, Elon Musk did later clarify that there is one exception to that, and that is if there was ever a high resolution radar available. And at the time, no such radar existed. So it sounds like over the last year, Tesla has been focused on developing a new radar, and it's even listed as a high resolution radar. So this begs the question, what is this new advanced radar for? Well, I don't think you need a degree in physics to figure out where this is headed. So with the development of this new radar, we could potentially be seeing a return to a radar-assisted full self-driving system in this Tesla. Now, with that said, I have had beta for quite some time now, and beta is getting very good. It is not perfect. There are some people who are able to demonstrate zero interventions in specific areas, more notably in the Silicon Valley, which is no surprise. But for the rest of America, you're still going to have to intervene. You're still going to have to pay close attention, but it is getting very good. And full self-driving beta has way less phantom braking issues. As a matter of fact, I don't know that there's very many at all at this point with the newest version that just rolled out. It is very good. It's getting there, and there's still a lot of work to be done, but it does prove that a vision-only system has quite a lot of credence to say it's possible. I will say this, having had a radar system in the 2020, it was way better on basic autopilot functions than this vision only system is. And my wife gets very frustrated when it hits hard on the brakes for no apparent reason, because it is jarring and it is alarming and it scares you because you don't know what's happening. But this is encouraging, and it does bring up a concern. It's encouraging because, in my opinion, that radar is kind of needed, and I get more forward collision warnings now in this car than I've ever had in our previous Model Y, and it's really annoying. It just cannot figure out how far away I am from the car in front of me for whatever reason. So there's still a lot of work to be done on this vision only system, but it sounds like potentially a radar is coming back, and this new radar could be that God of all radars that Elon Musk has been talking about, and that is a good thing. So all these things, although sure they're frustrating, these are all good things because it's leading to a better product at the end of the day. And I really do hope that we see the return of this radar system. Now, the bad thing, what does that mean for retrofit? What does that mean for the people for the past year who have been taking delivery of cars that are not equipped with a radar? Well, potentially there's a retrofit available. If you recall, Tesla did say back in like 2016 or so that all cars would be equipped, if you bought today, to be able to achieve full self-driving in the future. And that turned out not to be the case. And retrofit kits had to be made available to customers who did not have the necessary hardware to achieve full self-driving. I think this is kind of the same situation. Retro kits may have to be made available to vision-only cars to allow them to continue on this development path to a full self-driving future. So with all that, there's still a lot yet to be determined about what this all means, and it's going to be some time because Tesla doesn't communicate very well, as we all know at this point. So still a lot to come out to understand what this means for us, and for those of you with vision only, what that means for you as well. And for those who are taking delivery like now, should you hold off? No, don't hold off your order yet. But I think it's clear to say that there are some enhancements coming to Tesla to better refine their full self-driving suite on the equipment in the car. And if a radar system does come back, I think it's going to be a warm welcome from a lot of owners who have been living with this vision only system and the phantom braking issues that are very present in this car. So I hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you did, of course, give it the thumbs up. If you haven't already, of course, subscribe to the channel as we continue to post content regularly. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Bearded Tesla. Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll catch you next time.